Welcome to a new generation, new conversation, my stimulation. Come and hang with Dope Digest. Feed your cravings, fight your haters. Either way, we dropping content, and you know just where to find it. Hey!
Happy Pride Month!
So this is part 2 of our coming out reveal, and as you know, we are painting our nails the color of this huge 10 color LGBTQIA plus flag that we found on Twitter, and I'll attach a photo of the original flag. But these are the 10 colors, and we have 10 fingers, and we thought, why not? If you didn't watch the last if you didn't watch the last video, we painted Bae's nails, her 10 colors, and she actually told you guys her coming out story. So might want to go check that out. And this time it's my turn. In case you forgot, I guess we are Dope Digest. And I am Tichinia, and this is
Kiana.
And we're gonna dive right in.
All right.
I did something to my face. What do you think?
All right, baby, you ready to tell us your coming out story?
So, I mean, okay, I want to start further back. I knew I was gay. Yeah, I basically knew that I like girls from the time that I started liking dudes. Like, since I was old enough to explore myself sexually, I knew that I was attracted to women. I used to watch lesbian porn as a kid, and
When you say as a kid, what age do you mean?
maybe like 9 or 10. That's when I started trying to explore, discovering myself sexually. And when I moved to the South Side, I met this girl named Briasia, and we had the same birthday. And so we talked, like we were like best friends for a while. And so me and her knew this boy in my school. I think this was middle school. I don't know. I think we knew this boy in our school named Devontae, and he lived near us, but he was from some other town. I forget what it's called in Georgia, South Georgia, I think. And so when he went back home, he supposedly like linked us up with somebody from his hometown named Trey. And so Trey was cute, like at the time cute was like light skin with long hair, so I think he had braids and he was light skinned. He kind of reminded me of Spectacular from Pretty Ricky. Yeah, he looked like him. And Spectacular was the one that I liked. Anyway, but Trey was like Briasia's boyfriend. They were long distance texting and stuff. And, being young and impressionable at that age, this attractive guy was like telling me that he's interested in me, and so I was interested in him, and so we started like sort of long distance dating. But I guess I felt really hard for him at first, and then Briasia found out, and that was like a whole thing. She never really talked to me after that, and I completely understand. But if you ever watch this video, girl, I'm sorry. Like, I'm an adult now, and it was wrong, and I'm sorry. Okay, so her and Trey broke up, and then he was with me, sort of, I guess. And like so how she found out was like they called me on three-way. Back when we used to talk on the phone, and you would call on three-way and meet the phone. So Trey called me and was being weird, and I was like, what the fuck, like, what's going on? I love you, why are you being weird? I love you, I love you, I love you. And turns out Briasia was on the phone muted, and that's why he was being weird.
Dang.
Yeah, so, and what's funny is after that I was talking to Trey, and they were like, yeah, I trusted you more so after that whole thing went down, I guess. Like, before that, I guess I was like, you know, the cheating, scandalous best friend, so they didn't have really any respect for me. But after that, they were like, oh, yeah, you know, I realized that you were down for me, basically, and shit like that. But really, it should have been the other way around, because I think that's the first time I experienced something like that where I was, like, betrayed. So it was, like, before that,
This one black?
Yeah. Before that, I was really into them, but then after that, I felt betrayed. So it's like, it just slowly waned off. Anyway, after that point, me and Trey were still together or whatever. And one day he called me and he was like, I gotta tell you something, but you're gonna be mad at me. I gotta tell you something, you're gonna be mad at me. And I was like, what is it? What is it? And Trey had a sister that didn't look nothing like him named Bree. Well, anyway, Trey tells me that he's not Trey, he's Bree. So this whole time, you know, I had fell in love with this girl, long distance at that. Like, it had been a long time. I feel like probably like a couple months. And so I was just like, immediately, I had already been attracted. Like, this is after I was like exploring myself sexually. So I always knew I was attracted to girls. I just never said anything about it out loud. My best friend, Tori, had already came out to us as liking girls. And so it was really not a thing for me to be ashamed about. And I was just like, okay, well, I love you, so it doesn't matter who you are. You know, I'm glad that you told me the truth. But I got catfished, y'all. That's basically what that is. Mm-hmm. Bree was not even Trey's sister. He was just a popular dude in the area whose picture she was using. And so, yeah, she catfished me. She catfished us.
Dang. Mm-hmm. How did the other girl feel about it?
I told her one day we were walking in the hall. We were walking past each other in the hallway. Like, cause like I said, after that point, she didn't really fuck with me anymore. So we were walking past each other in the hallway, and I was like, you know, Trey wasn't real, right? And she was like, I know. But then we never talked about it again after that. So I don't know if she knew that Trey was Bree, or if she just figured that, you know, it was someone else pretending or something, because they never linked up or anything. Like, we never video chat probably wasn't a whole thing back then. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's when I was just like, okay, well, I already knew I was physically attracted to women, and then I had just fell in love with the girl over the phone, even though I didn't know it was a girl. So I was just like, it's whatever. I like girls. It's cool. I'm bi. At that point, I was like, it's cool. And so Bree was like, I want you to come out to your friends, you know, like, cause she was friends with all my friends, cause like they had talked over the phone. And so we let Tori, who I told you earlier had already came out to us, we let her we let her pretend to hook us up, you know. And so it was like a whole scheme that me and Bree devised. We were like, okay, so Bree was like, okay, I'm gonna go to Tori and be like, I really like her, hook us up. And then you just gonna let her hook us up.
And that's gonna be how y'all came out to other people?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, like to them, to my friends. And so Bree did. She called Tori. She was like, I like her. And then Tori called me on three-way and was like, okay, she did it in the most goofy way that obviously didn't make any sense. She was like, what's your favorite food? And I was like, hamburger helper. And then, I told you that was my favorite food for a while, but she was judging me because she don't like hamburger helper. And then she'd be like, oh, cool, Bree, what's your favorite food? And she'd be like, hamburger helper. And she's like, well, look at that. Y'all have so much in common. So, yeah, so that's how we got together, like, according to our friends. And just after that, I was just always telling people I was gay, except for, like, adults, obviously. So after Bree, I don't remember how me and Bree broke up. I really don't remember. She did some fucked up shit to me, though, over that, however long we was together.
Like, well, that's for another video.
Yeah. For sure. So how I came out to my parents, whew. Yeah. So there's this girl, but I won't say her name. Let's just call her Cut Patricia.
Cut Patricia.
I was dating this girl, and she had a lot going on in her life. She was beefing with her mom all the time, so she would be going in and out of facilities. I feel like I don't know. She said her mom was really abusive, but her mom made it seem like she was crazy, which I guess is normal. Anyway, so one day I had ROTC after school and she had chorus after school. So after our events, everybody would meet up in the cafeteria of the high school and wait for the rides. And so I was there with like my best friends and, you know, my little squad or whatever, and her. And then her mom walked into that cafeteria, literally grabbed her by her ear and dragged her out. She was like yelling and shit, like, "What the fuck, mom?" Blah, blah. And she wasn't cursing at her, but, you know, she was like, "What's happening?" basically. And so, you know, me and the people that I'm sitting at the table with, we're just sitting there like, okay. That was wild, and I'm just like, I'll call her later. And so my best friend's dad came and picked us up, and he said, so when he dropped me off in front of my house, Patricia and her mom are in front of my house talking to my parents, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? Patricia's mom was a pastor. So I get there and she done told my parents that I'm gay. She done show all the text messages. She done told them that Patricia had stole money out of her purse and shit. So my dad looking at me like I done stole money from this lady.
Dang.
And I ain't stole no money from this lady. Like her
drama.
You know, I don't know. So I'm like freaking out because I got black parents, and you know how black people be. I'm scared. I'm scared. I don't know how they finna react. And it's dramatic. It's not like we home alone. Like my sister's godmother was at the house. Like it was a whole dramatic thing. Other people didn't sing. Like, oh my goodness. Yeah, so I don't even remember how that conversation ended. Like, I think Patricia stormed off and her mom went to go find her, and they went off about their business, and I'm in the house like crying, like, oh my god, what's happening? Like I'm crying and stressed out and shit. And my mom comes in and she's like, it's okay, you know, nobody's upset with you, but your daddy's not gonna have this. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, what do you mean? It's just, that's how it is. And so I'm expecting my dad to freak out, and then later I talk to my dad and he's like, girl, I don't care. I knew. I tried to tell your mama years ago. Yeah, so actually it took my mom longer to get over it than my dad. But she got over it. She cool now. And yeah, that's my coming out story. That's what happened. It was wild.
Did you ever talk to that girl again?
Patricia?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Actually, yeah, she came back to our house that night and like apologized and was like, I'm so sorry. Like, my mom is literally crazy, and your daughter has nothing to do with anything that's happening. And so that was nice of her. Like, I hope her life's going more smoothly.
We praying for you, Patricia.
Praying for Bree too.
Keep praying. Oh yeah. Well, as you can see, one thing that we have in common is that we were both outed to our parents.
Yeah, we do, huh?
So, if you have a story where you got to have that old gooey sit down moment.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess we did have sit down moments where, because of course
we had
they
to
wanted
talk
to
about
talk about it. I remember sitting down. My mom was like, "I still love you,"
and they'd be like, "I hope so. I didn't think you was really gonna stop loving me."
I think I did. I don't know why.
But that shit happens though. Like, I don't even mean to joke about it because that shit actually does happen.
It does.
I'm sorry.
It does. Like, my whole church, they put up a whole video of this man who's like talking about how he's not gay anymore and he's been saved. So yeah, I maybe thought that maybe, but I should have known. Like, in retrospect, I really should have known that she would be fine with it. But I didn't know where I stood yet. Mm-hmm. So if you could label yourself under all of the different labels that they have out there now, what would you label yourself as?
It's complicated. I don't know.
Pansexual is one that I like to keep in my pocket, but I don't necessarily label myself as pansexual. Like I said, these labels are just whatever, feels right for you.
I feel like I float in between like pansexual and asexual for the most part.
And that's that.
Yeah.
This is the first time that you've taken that term out loud. Mm-hmm. How does it feel?
Like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't know. I go through phases. Like, there's times when I'm just very sexual, and there's times when I'm not. And some crests and troughs are deeper than others.
All right. What does gay pride mean to you? Gay pride, lesbian pride, pansexual pride, asexual pride?
I feel like it's 2019 and we really shouldn't have to keep having these conversations. But we do, so we're gonna have it again. To me, pride just means having pride in who you are as a person. The reason that we chose to do this 10 layer flag is because it's supposed to be more all encompassing than just like the basics. It included race and gender and all these little categories that we try to put each other in, to differentiate us.
You feel like we should just be and it shouldn't even be a thing.
Yeah, like
I definitely feel you on that.
But since we can't, we have to be loud about it. And I'm okay with that. Like, I read a post on social media a couple days ago that was like, the first pride was a riot. Make sure you remember that shit. Because, like, yeah, now we're making all this headway with, like, marriage and discrimination laws and stuff like that. But we still have to keep fighting for the other aspects of it that aren't being talked about,
like transgender rights.
Oh, those, I feel like we are getting more so into that, but it could also be because my community's changing.
I think it's probably both. Like, I don't know, because it's like almost every day you read about a black trans woman that's been murdered. Mm-hmm. And it's terrible, and you just know that that's something that's been happening for a long time, even though we're just now hearing about it and talking about it. Like Marsha P. What's her name? I feel like a terrible gay. Yeah, Marsha P. Johnson.
Look at you.
One of the prominent figures in the Stonewall Uprising of 1969. She was murdered. She was a black trans woman, and she was murdered even though she was an activist. And you still got a lot of activists being murdered today. That just as much as I'm a fight for black rights, I'm gonna fight for gay rights, because I think nobody has to be limited because of something that's just such a huge part of you. Like, people like to be like, gay isn't a personality trait, or gay isn't whatever, it doesn't have to be this or that. But being gay, especially in this society when they want you to define yourself so much, is a huge part of who you are. It's more than just who you're fucking. It's more than just who you're attracted to. It's who you want to love and have a family with and spend the rest of your life with, and the community that you want to be involved in. It's you. So nobody should ever have to fight just to be who they are, or to feel threatened just because of who they are, whether it's because they're gay or black or any race, Muslim, or any race or religion. Any of that is just such a big part of you that you should never have to feel threatened because of it.
I agree.
Stupid. The world should just let people live, and like that's why the rainbow is such a big representation of that. I think it's because we're all so varied. We're all so different. There's so many different points on the spectrum where you can be, and it's a sliding point. So it's like, and it's 3D. It's not just a line. We're all so many things at one time, and you should be proud of it. You should be proud of who you are always,
and be loud about it.
Because they want you to just suppress that shit, and that's why we got little kids killing themselves now.
But you know how people will be like, oh, I don't want you to force your gay agenda down our throats.
It's not an agenda. I just want to live my life. I
want to prove that it's okay to be who I am, and it's okay for you to be who you are. And what the y'all really act like every Disney princess story isn't forcing heterosexuality forcing sexuality in general down our kids' throat. Like, come on. It's all a scare tactic, and it's all oppression tools.
In a perfect world, I wouldn't want my kid to have to come out to me. I would want my kid to always talk to me about who they are and what they're feeling, and they just like if they were straight, they just come bring somebody home.
I met this really cute girl, and I think I'm gonna try to ask her on a date.
Like, I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm so happy that you're just living your best life. Like, yes, live your best life. That's all I want for my children, without having to feel this stigma attached to it. I don't care if the next week you're bringing home a different gender. Like, I don't care. Just whoever, figure out who you are and be happy with it. And have fun figuring it out.
Yeah, and be safe. That's all. Just have fun and be safe. Yeah. So that was my coming out story. I would love to have a dialogue with you guys. If you could just comment down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and keep watching out for our giveaway. That's still coming up. We haven't forgot about it. We're gonna do a video with the rules and the prizes, and that's gonna be fun. Okay.
All right. Thanks you guys for watching.
We'll see you next time.
Peace and love.